like the festival promoters have standards. You know, that I feel like they would take anybody who would come out there. How are we doing? Fantastic. I love this angle. I'm excited. Took us long enough to get here, but here we freaking are. All right. Welcome back to my channel. I know I said in my last video that you probably wouldn't get another video until I got back off vacation, but what can I say? Today I'm inspired. And I saw yesterday on Instagram, even though also on my channel is a video as to why I left Facebook and Instagram. I'm staying off Facebook, Instagram. I'm not really on there too much except to look my lash girl. Look, check it out. My lash girl is on Instagram. Basically people that I need to communicate with for like business purposes. Just Instagram, I find myself needing it more. Facebook can fuck off. Anyway, so I saw on there like a quick video. It's like a vegetarian vegan page where they showed these spring rolls. Okay, which when I was cleaning my pantry out in my last video, I was like, damn, I still haven't used these. See the spring roll rice paper? Yes. I still have not used these, and they go out of date in July. So I was like, all right, well, I need to be using those. And then lo and behold, I see this recipe on there yesterday, and I was like, I'm going to try that. I am not a cooking channel. I know how to cook. I've never tried this before. This will be my first time, and you're going to experience it with me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make these spring rolls out of the rice paper, and I'm going to put carrot, red cabbage. Oh, I'm going to use skinny pasta because it's in the pantry. And yeah, it's still good for a while, but it's gluten-free. I have to eat gluten-free because it causes my skin to flare up in unbelievable ways when I eat gluten. I don't want it to be true. It's just the fact of the matter is what it is. Here we are. I basically feel like I'm on fire when I eat the shit. Okay? It does crazy things to me, and so I avoid it. Red cabbage, they didn't have any. I don't know why they call it red, it's purple. But they didn't have any not in plastic. I don't know why in this freaking country they feel like everything needs to be wrapped in plastic. I guess for shipping purposes. But typically I would go to Earth Fare, which doesn't have the shit wrapped in plastic, but I was already at Target, so I went in there. Alrighty, I got this little beautiful baby washed, pat it dry, and we're gonna set it over here. I took the outer leaves off, but I have already created myself. I cut up a cantaloupe before I started this video because I didn't want to starve to death before I got all my shit straight. You understand? Because it's been some minutes, honey, trying to figure out this setup because I've never done a video in my kitchen, and I've certainly never done a cooking video. So, all right. But these are the scraps, cantaloupe, and then this. And when I get the composter, I'm going to put this. It smells so good. That cantaloupe is banging. I'm going to put it all in the composter. I have some stuff in the freezer also that I'm going to throw in there. I've just been saving my food scraps. Because did you know, fun fact, that one of the largest producers of methane gas, which is what's fucking up our climate, global warming, climate change, whatever you want to call it, food scraps in the landfill is like the biggest cause of methane gas in our atmosphere. We're doing our part over here. We're doing our best, okay? I think it's a Maya Angelou. I know it's a Maya Angelou quote. She says, do the best you can until you know better. And when you know better, do better. That's what we're doing here. I love little petite carrots. They're so good. So I figured while I am chopping up these vegetables. Oh, I was going through what we were putting in the thing. We are also going to put in some avocado. The thing on Instagram did not put avocado in there. And then I'm going to use up these red peppers that we have because, honey, they are on their way out. And so what I don't use is going to go into the compost bowl. I figured while I was chopping up these vegetables, I will talk to you about my Hippie Fest experience. This past weekend, Mother's Day weekend, we went to the Hippie Fest on Saturday. If you follow me on Instagram or TikTok, which if you don't, please do, they're right here. Same name. I'm trying to keep the same name across all platforms. It's just way more consistent that way. So anyway, we went to the Hippie Fest, and first of all, it should not be called Hippie Festival. It should be called Hippie Marketplace. And to further expound upon that, it shouldn't be called Hippie anything. I don't know what it should be called. Because, honey, the vibe honestly just was not there at the place. And the entrance, when we walked in, the entrance was like really awesome. I was hyped too. I was really hyped to go. I was super excited. Matter of fact, we got there, I'm like running around like a damn banshee, dragging my family all over the place. Like, I wanted to see everything that was there, and I wanted to see it right now. Hey, we're going through there, and then once the excitement wears off, you kind of start seeing things for how it really is. I start noticing that not all vendors there were selling stuff from like AliExpress. There were some local vendors there. There was some really talented artists there, musicians. That was good. But I'm gonna tell you what, walking around that festival, there was not enough music. There were so many dead zones where it was just like completely silent. I don't know about you, but if you're going to a hippie festival, let's examine the definition of a hippie. Okay, because I already did this. I did the work for you, and feel free to look it up. But according to Oxford Dictionary, hippie is someone who bucks basically the conventional norms or whatever. And then it also threw in there the use of psychedelic drugs. Now, whether or not they're using psychedelic drugs is neither here nor there. But most of the people there are probably under some influence of some type. Use your imagination. They definitely served alcohol there. There was just like so many dead zones. There was like places that would just be like quiet. Nobody was having fun. Like everybody was just sitting there. There were people that were just sitting there, or it was super young people who were doing stuff clearly for the gram. It wasn't because they were there having fun, letting loose. It was very much like curated fun, fake fun. It's a weird generation, baby. I don't know what to tell you. It is what it is. Okay, so that part I didn't get. But whatever. Moving on. There was State Farm was there selling insurance. I don't know why the hell they had a State Farm booth there. There was a booth there where you could enter to win an AR-15. Now, personally, I was in the military. I live in the South. I'm not anti-gun, whatever. But I just thought it was very interesting at a hippie festival, make love, not war type people, like peaceful type people, enter to win an AR-15. Okay. Interesting, not judging, but interesting. There are several vendors there that were definitely selling stuff that they did not make. Some of it was definitely from AliExpress. And if you're not familiar with that website, it's all these little silly like leggings or other clothing items that you see in the ads on Instagram. 9 times out of 10, that's being resold. It was bought on AliExpress for like $4 per garment, and they're gonna sell it to you for $40, honey. I've seen it, and I've done it. I haven't resold it because I would not do that, but I have ordered from AliExpress directly. Those like leggings that had the waffles and they're supposed to give you the booty, which if you don't have the booty already, it ain't gonna give you that booty, honey, because I don't have the booty, and it didn't give me the booty. so, but I bought those. They were being sold online for $40, $50, $60. In some places, I got them for $4 off AliExpress. That's how I know. So yeah, there was a lot of stuff out there being sold that was bought off AliExpress. There was quite a lot of resellers, is my point. The majority of it was like artisan people. That, in fairness, that we're being fair. So there's that. Now, here's the real problem, in my opinion. And it may be an unpopular opinion, but it's mine, so here we go. The food. Let's talk about the food situation. It was a bunch of food trucks, which I used to live in Maryland, and my roommate, when I lived in Maryland, when I was away at in military school, for the military, she was actually from Virginia, so we went to DC a lot. And at the time, I was very much a vegetarian. Like, that is 100% how I ate. And I didn't stop being a vegetarian until I got into bodybuilding. That's a whole other story for another time. My whole point is I've been to a vegan festival. I think it was called like Veg Fest or something like that. If you've ever been, it's a good time. It's a great time. And that's kind of what I expected. My fault for having expectations. But that's kind of what I was expecting from Hippie Fest. Something like Veg Fest, which was my roommate at the time. She called it Vag Fest. Hilarious. Girl, if you're watching, you know who you are. I love you. I miss you so much. Anyway, I think this is enough carrots. I think I'm getting carried away. All right, next. Let's do this next. Do some of these peppers. It was the food trucks, I promise you, the food trucks from the fair. Okay, picture that. The fair. We went to the balloon festival before fucking COVID happened, and exact same type food trucks. So complete trash carnival food. I'm here to tell you. There was one healthy food truck there. They had like 4 items that weren't crossed off the menu. But even them, selling everything in single-use plastic. Fair enough, fine. I get it, times are hard. But there are compostable single-use items. There are. I see them in Target all the time. You can get them. I'm not here to tell anybody how to run their business or change their business practices. This is the main point that really upset me. Even though now I'm trying to change my lifestyle and to not be such a hyper consumer, it would have upset me anyways, because I have always tried to avoid plastic, because it's like, meh. This one thing that like really bothers me is plastic, and it has for a very long time. Well, the fucking festival doesn't have any recycling. None. I wish I had gotten pictures, but it was my state of mind at the time. It was so sad to look at, just like these overflowing like trash cans filled to the brim with food, half-eaten food, uneaten food, plastic, just like plastic galore everywhere. It was so counterintuitive for the festival that it was supposed to be. The people there were so counterintuitive to what you would typically find with somebody because honestly, okay, most of us there were not, even my parents, okay, were too young to be at Woodstock. You see what I'm saying? Like, so during the whole hippie movement, like my mom was into disco and my dad was like a biker. Anyway, that was their whole vibe, right? So they even missed the whole hippie era. These days, it's a state of mind. And getting into that state of mind, it's more of a natural, salt of the earth, like peace and love, and just coming together, being one, appreciating the earth and what it does for us, because it literally gives us life. We cannot live. We are the earth. You see what I mean? And it's just like people who with that hippie mindset know that. Not these people, honey. Not these people. And I'm not here to judge, even though I am judging, I guess, but it is what it is. The thing is that, so the one healthy food truck that's there, that's one I ate from, and I got the orange cauliflower, which is supposed to be like orange chicken, but it's cauliflower, steamed rice, cabbage, and a teriyaki sauce. To be truthfully honest with you, I got the cauliflower because I felt a little weird about eating off of food. I'm not eating protein off a food truck because I'm scared of getting like food poison. That's just a me thing. There was no line. There were lines forever long for everything else, but there was no line for this truck. We go around the corner, my daughter and I, to go to the bathroom. There was definitely a line for that. So we wait through the bathroom. That's not fair to say. It was one, there was two. This guy had three, because one guy was selling just pure non-GMO corn, just corn on the cob. The Japanese food truck, and which is really good, by the way, very tasty. And then the ice cream guy. So after we came out of the bathroom, we stopped and got an ice cream cone, and the ice cream was made from coconut milk. Perfect, because my body does not like lactose. So I avoid, like, even, not to derail, but even this, like, I eat dairy-free cheese because honey, it bloats me and the whole nine. Like, my system just does not like it, so I don't eat it. Okay, let's move on to the cabbage and I'll finish the rest of the story. Anyway, so we get our little ice cream cones, and it was good too. I was expecting like coconut milk ice cream. I was expecting it to like just be really runny. No, it was nice and thick. So I'm very happy with that. And we go catch up to my husband who's in the alcohol line. We find him, and then we, venture out and we go find, just trying to see what else there is to see before we're about ready to bounce out of here. Just because the vibe is not there, was not there at all. I don't know how else to explain that to you. That was basically the experience in a nutshell. This is too much. Probably won't be back. It looked like a great place actually because I'm starting to make crafts, and look, I left these glasses on anyway. I'm starting to make crafts, and because that's what I want to do. I'm excited about creating, and I wanted to actually go peep the scene to see how it would be as far as like, renting a booth out there one year for my crafts. And because I want to sell my stuff like at craft shows, and I'm contemplating selling online. We'll see. I don't know if I want to do Etsy with all the drama going on with Etsy lately. But we'll see. We'll see how that goes. And it would actually probably be very profitable to go out there and sell. And it looks like they do need more local vendors, like people who actually make their stuff, people who actually like put some pride in their stuff. And like I said, the people who actually do make their stuff and what's out there, their stuff was really, really good. It was really, really good. So I'm not knocking that at all. I just don't feel like the festival promoters have standards. That I feel like they would take anybody who would come out there, hence the Allstate having a tent out there, the AR-15, the massive amount of shit food. Like, promote this festival. I know that it exists. I know healthy food trucks exist. Maybe it's just the area that I live in. But I live just outside of a major metropolitan area, Charlotte, North Carolina. Like, how in the world is there not? I don't know. I don't know. I have no idea. I did actually post a reel on Instagram asking the Hippie Fest promoters this question. Has fallen upon deaf ears. I've not gotten any response whatsoever because I wanted, if I'm wrong, and asking them to, bring better vendors. I asked the vendors that do come if they would consider even for that festival, bringing like compostable or biodegradable, some form of better single-use items, even if just for that festival. or asking them to consider moving counties. If the county that they were in doesn't offer recycling, move your festival to another county that does, because this festival produced so much waste. It was a sold out festival. It produced so much waste that I just felt like it was irresponsible. And if they're not going to do any of that, then change your fucking name. Change the name, because this ain't no hippie festival. It's not even a hippie market. Yeah, you got people who are selling stuff that maybe appeals to people with that mindset, but that ain't it, sis. And that's just how I feel about it. So I was disappointed in it. And then, like, my ethics say, well, you know, it might be a good place to sell your stuff, but it's like, do I even really want to? Maybe that's the attitude that other vendors have too. Maybe that's why they're not out there. They're like, okay, well, that's the name of it, but that's not the people who actually show up to it, the people with that mentality. Or because I guess the boho style is a trend, and that's what my daughter was trying, because, you know, she's young. She was trying to explain to me. She was like, Mom, a lot of people are just out here. She's like, because just for the pictures. She said, because it's trendy right now, and that's very unfortunate. So maybe that's why there was a lack of realness. That's all I have to say about that. And I haven't even got through cutting up these vegetables. All right, I think we have enough cabbage. I always overdo it. Let me put that there. This can go in a little scrap bowl. This is what the vegetables look like. I know it's kind of far. So, you know, I was trying to get them as thin as possible. Now we'll slice up some avocado. So tell me down below what you think. Am I being too harsh? Am I expecting too much? We're going to leave the part with the seed, because did you know, and it's got a few little spots, did you know leaving it with the seed in it, it doesn't brown as much as if I were to save this one. We'll cut this into thinner layers. Now that I have little cuts in the avocado, I just went down and cut it like this. And then I'm just gonna take it like this. Take it and separate the skin from the flesh. Just scoop underneath and lay it out just like that. Boom. Wonderful. In the food scrap bowl. I don't even have the composter yet. And let me wash my hands. I'll put this stuff in my freezer until we get it. Either way, I'm gonna get it. All right, let's move all this stuff. I'm gonna get all of this cleaned up, situated, and then I'll be back to wrap the goodies into the papers, and then we're going to freaking fry it in a frying pan with some oil. All right, so I got warm water here, if you can see that. Okay, so warm water to dip the rice paper in. Here is our filling along with the noodles. And we're gonna go from here and see how it goes. Like I said, I have made spring rolls before, like this kind of spring roll, but I've never like you're supposed to double wrap it and then fry them in olive oil. Well, some type of oil. I'm gonna use olive oil because that's what I have. And when I say fry, I'm using it very lightly because I don't have any avocado oil, or else that's what I would use. I got a really good grocery shopping, but we're going on vacation next week, so really not the point. So you're gonna take it, the little rice paper, and literally just dip it and bring it back out. I think a common mistake that people do is they leave them sitting in there and then it gets all gooey and gross. So we're gonna it's like blending in. That's the reason why I don't like to use a wooden cutting board for this, because it sticks to it. Learned that the hard way. So we're just gonna put some filling in here. I always overfill, so I'm trying not to. Avocado, which was not in the original recipe, so we'll see how that goes. That's a little thick. That's what he said. I've heard that a time or two in my life. Let's see. That's probably enough. Just the 2 pieces. People who like actually cook are probably watching this cringing their freaking faces off. Anything that's left over, I'll eat it tonight. And then we're going to put some little noodles in there, because that was part of the 2 things I needed to use out of my pantry. Spring rice wrappers and these little noodles. All right. Now, I can already tell you, I've wrapped it too full because I can't pull. Oh, easy fix. Okay, we're going to do it like that. All I did was change directions. If you're laughing at me right now, don't laugh too hard until you try doing this yourself, because it's not easy.
It's not easy to work with rice paper. So that's one. Let's take and dip this one. Yep, literally in and out. Don't leave it in too long. Like I said, I learned that the hard way. We're going to place that in the center. I'll give it a few minutes, or a minute or 2, to soften up. So I just place it in the center. There we go. We're going to wrap it again. I think that looks so much easier. I'll tell you what. Experience is everything. Alright, beautiful. Actually, I'm quite proud of that.
Alright, so there's one, and then I'm just going to keep rolling them, and I'll come back when I'm ready to put them in the oil. Alright, and we're back. This is what they ended up looking like before we put them in the fryer. Actually, my first one was the best one. I think that's because you guys were watching. So, I think this is hot enough. So, okay. We're good. Thanks for not embarrassing me. And I don't remember how long it said to fry these for. I'm going to let these do their thing, and I'll show you when I flip them. Okay, I just flipped them. It's probably been about 3 or 4 minutes. They're starting to get a little sassy with me. I see why, because this one right here in the middle, it busted open. And I don't know how much you know about cooking, but when water and oil mix, that's when it starts spitting. So it was spitting at me. So that's when I decided to turn it. Ooh, it's crispy. I probably should have turned it before. They are crispy. They're not really that brown, but they are quite crispy. Turn it again. I'll turn I'm telling you, this stove that I have, like, I'm going to take it off the heat for a minute because I don't want to burn anything. That would embarrass me to death, ruin my whole video. I promise I can cook. I'm a grit, baby. A girl raised in the South. So I don't need this. I don't need these spring rolls embarrassing me. I probably shouldn't have tried it for the first time, like, on a video. Probably should have, like, practiced beforehand. But, you know, what's the fun in that? What's the fun in that? Oh, okay. See how it's starting to spit? But in the video on Instagram, they were a little brown. Let's turn it on that side. We're going to take that one out. So I'm going to let these cool off, and then I'll take a taste test and let you know how it is. All right, this is what they look like. I ended up taking them off the towel for after a few minutes because they were kind of sticking to it, and moving it to a rack. They're not completely cool, but I'm going to try one for you anyway, and I'll let you know what I think about it. I am going to dip it in this Blanco dairy-free queso I showed you earlier. Well, bless. If you're not a fatty, you're a fatty at heart. That is not mine. That belongs to the YouTube Underground. I'm just saying. She's not wrong. Hot. You see how hot that is?